The victim was a 68-year-old Black Navy veteran in a wheelchair. All the guy had to do was walk away. But instead, he shoots the man point blank and claims that he was in fear for his life. And I can't help but think it has something to do with the racial components of this case. Because, and I'm going to steal a line from Matthew McConaughey from A Time to Kill. What if the guy in the wheelchair, what if he was white?
Unsolicited Perspectives Podcast. Episode clip.
There was a shooting at the Seattle Waterfront. I've been there. One of my ex-girlfriends at some point lived in Seattle. I went out to visit her. Took me all around. I like Seattle. Seattle's a nice area. So this happened at the Seattle Waterfront, and the victim was a 68-year-old Black Navy veteran who was in a wheelchair. A couple of these things I have to keep pointing out so that you guys understand my frustration. I will repeat that again. The victim was a 68-year-old Black Navy veteran in a wheelchair. 68 years old, Black man, Navy veteran, wheelchair. And he was shot by Gregory Tim. I'll get into Gregory Tim in a minute, but let me just tell you what happened. The shooter approached the victim, accused him of stolen valor, demanded proof of military service, took a patch from his wheelchair, escalated the situation, shot the victim from about 10 feet away. Here are some important details that need to be presented to you guys just so that I'm not impartial. The victim did have a knife, and he had a BB gun that was in a holster. He also was once again in a wheelchair, a motorized wheelchair, but in a wheelchair. He never advanced towards the shooter, and there was a large amount of distance between the shooter and the victim. When I saw the videotape, 6 to 10 feet, so probably 8 feet, the length of from the ground to a basketball rim. And you may think that that's not really far, but that's 10 feet. 10 feet is not close. And actually, it might have been closer to 10 yards. Yeah, it's closer to 10 yards, not 10 feet. What the hell am I doing? It was closer to 10 yards. It was yardage, not. So he shoots this man that's in a wheelchair, 68 years old, Navy veteran, all because of stolen valor, supposedly. He was convicted of second-degree assault, convicted of third-degree theft, and he was sentenced to 3.5 years. Now, the victim did not die, so I would say it should have been attempted murder. The victim did not die, but that's the story. So why did I get upset? There's a racial component because the shooter was white. I'll get into the stolen valor thing later. But I was upset at the fact that this man, in broad daylight, where kids are around, families are around, and you can look up this video anywhere you want. Just Google search Seattle's Waterfront shooting, and you can see that he's I said feet, I meant to say yards, 10 yards away. And the guy is coming at him with his wheelchair. That wheelchair is moving like 2 miles per hour, maybe 1 mile per hour. Like, it is moving slow. All the guy had to do was walk away. But instead, he shoots the man point blank and claims that he was in fear for his life. I want to talk about the legal context. There is an open carry in the state of Washington, but you cannot use the weapon to intimidate. You cannot escalate confrontation, which is what self-defense requires. You have to have reasonable fear and there needs to be necessary force. None of those things applied. That's the reason why the DA charged him, but they only gave him 3.5 years. And I can't help but think it has something to do with the racial components of this case. Because, and I'm going to steal a line from Matthew McConaughey from A Time to Kill. What if the guy in the wheelchair, what if he was white and the shooter was black? I want to paint you this clear picture again. The shooter confronts the 68-year-old Navy veteran in the wheelchair. I left out black for a reason. I want you to focus on if he was white. Accuses him of stolen valor and says, show me your credentials. This victim is panhandling, right? He's out there. He's a fixture out there in the Seattle waterfront. I'm not making this up. That's what the report said. He's always out there. Just like if you're in the DC area, there are certain people at certain metros that will, panhandle, or they got little candy set up or something that they could sell. They could try to make money, right? The shooter decided to approach this victim, accuse him of something, say, prove it. Then he ripped off a patch from the victim's person and was walking away with it. If you are a veteran and somebody takes something from you that is so sacred, that is your patch, yeah, you will be like, yo, I'm gonna need that back. I'm gonna need that back. So he pulled a knife and he had a BB gun in the holster, probably to ward off people trying to rob him at Seattle waterfront, because people will try to rob people in wheelchairs. And take advantage of the people who are less fortunate and don't have the ability to defend themselves. So yeah, you're gonna have a BB gun, not a real gun, which has an open carry in Washington State, a BB gun. He got himself a little knife, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, man, give me back my patch. And this man decides to shoot him. I want to, again, say in broad daylight with kids around. And he gets 3.5 years. And you know how much of that he'll actually serve? 18 months, maybe? Maybe? For shooting a man. He could have killed this man. This man survived an attack in the street when he's been off to war. And this shooter gets 3.5 years.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.